Hey there, it's Steve
and Courtney
from Serious Keto, and in this video we are going to do a little taste test of 3 different varieties of allulose. Before the end of January, I hope, if not before the end of January, at some point in February, I will finish my video on sweeteners, and it's a kitchen science video. So I look at how each of the sweeteners perform in the presence of yeast. Do they activate yeast or do they blunt yeast? You know, so if you're doing like a baked good, I look at how well do they caramelize. And I'm also going to take a look at how well they dissolve, how well they hold in solution. And that way I can really start to dial in what is the right sweetener for the right application, or is there one universally great sweetener? One of the ones that I'm really kind of starting to become fond of is allulose. And that's what we're going to try out today in this video in 2 different ways. We're going to try it straight up. Well, not we, because you didn't want to do any tasting. So it's just going to be me. But that allows you to do sort of a little bit of a blind science thing on me, because we're trying out 3 different brands or mixtures of allulose. The first is just going to be straight allulose, and this is the Keystone brand. I will link to it down in the description below, so if you want to buy some on Amazon, you can. So this is going to be one of them that you give me. Then we have Allumonk. This is from ChipMonk Baking. Remember we had their cookies?
Yep, those were good.
They were awesome. That peanut butter cookie, just mind-blowing. This has got a blend of allulose and monk fruit. And I'm not super duper fond of monk fruit. Remember when we did that straight up monk fruit? Never, ever, 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 ever eat straight up monk fruit. It's like burning plastic. And finally, we have the Splenda brand of allulose, which has allulose and natural flavor. So I don't know if this is going to taste better, worse. It's certainly more expensive. So I've got 3 different bowls here. I'm going to have you scoop 1/2 teaspoon into each one of them.
Okay.
And make sure you know which is which, obviously, for the sake of science. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get like a little tasting spoon, and I'll taste each, and then I'm going to see how well they each dissolve in water, and if they hold in a suspension. I'm ready. Which side should I start on?
Go ahead and start here.
Okay.
That's the order I memorized.
All right. This kind of reminds me of America's Test Kitchen when they do their tastings. My initial thought is this is probably the Allumonk. Don't tell me though. And I'm not even looking at your face for any sort of a tell.
I don't even.
Okay. That's my initial thought, is that, because I think I'm picking up the monk fruit. It's sweet. It's pretty good. I'm gonna hold off.
Okay.
I don't know yet until I try the others.
Okay.
I need to compare and contrast. Not as sweet. And the third one, sweeter. So I'm going to go back here again. I'm convinced this is the Allumonk. I totally get that monk fruit, slightly rubbery, slightly burnt taste. Correct? Now it's okay to tell me.
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct.
The second one, it's good. It's what I recognize as just being allulose. One of the things I really like about allulose is it's not overly sweet. It's kind of sweet. I think they say about 60% of sugar sweetness. I like allulose in terms of just the overall sweetness profile. And, oops. This last one has almost a slightly creamier mouthfeel. It seems like it dissolves a little bit differently than the second one. And I am picking up a little bit more flavor. I don't know that I would call it like marshmallow, but there's something more to it. So I kind of feel like this was the regular Keystone allulose, and this was the Splenda.
You are correct.
Super taster. So now we'll see how they dissolve in water. If they wind up tasting any different, if I prefer one more than the other. And then I'll just sort of give my final thoughts. So I gave them each sort of an equal stir. And it looks like most of the Allumonk dissolved. Not quite all of the straight up Keystone. And it looks like the Splenda dissolved the best. Now what I'll be doing when I do the full out non-sugar sweeteners review is probably chilling them and seeing if any of them fall out of suspension.
Okay.
Because I know that erythritol has a real tendency to recrystallize, but that's, sneak preview. I get far less of the monk fruit flavor once it's in a solution. And I've also noticed that when I eat the products, the cookies from ChipMonk, I really don't taste the monk fruit. So I think, perhaps that goes away a little bit in baking or, once it's in solution, maybe. That's just, the straight up allulose is it's a nice, pleasant, mildly sweet. Nothing, nothing especially noteworthy about it. It's good, it's solid. And still, the Splenda version, whatever they're using for natural flavor, it does amp up the sweetness a bit. And like I said, it's almost, I would go with a very, very mild marshmallowy sort of flavor. So I will include a link to ChipMonk Baking down below if you're interested in the Allumonk. I'll also include links for both the Keystone and the Splenda from Amazon. But just to give you an idea of price, the Keystone, 57 cents per ounce. Splenda, 83 cents per ounce. So while I do think the Splenda tastes a little bit better, a little bit sweeter, a little more flavor, I don't know that it tastes, 32% more in terms of price better. But the reason I wanted to do this video is because I have a feeling that allulose is going to be one of the top 2 sweeteners that kind of come out of my tests in terms of usability, taste, etc. So it's good to know which one is, probably the one to buy. And I'm leaning personally maybe towards the Keystone. But your call. And now we say,
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
thanks for watching.
Man, I get all confused now.